Once a towering figure in Jamaican dancehall, Ninjaman was known for his lyrical fire, street charisma, and unstoppable presence on stage. But now his name echoes for a very different reason. Behind the fame was a storm brewing legal battles, personal struggles, and a dramatic fall from grace. Today, his once lively home sits in silence, a haunting symbol of a legacy interrupted. So what really happened? Where is Ninjaman now? And what became of the wealth, the family, and the fast life he once led? Stay tuned as we uncover the rise and stunning downfall of a dancehall legend, from the peak of his career to the abandoned house that tells a story of fame, family, and fallout. In the gritty, electric world of Jamaica's dancehall scene, one name stood out like a thunderclap: Ninjaman. Known for his razor-sharp lyrics, fearless attitude, and a trail of controversy that followed him like a shadow, Ninjaman became more than just an artist, he was a force. Love him or hate him, his presence shook the culture to its core. But behind the music, the headlines, and the chaos lies a story many have never heard. A story that weaves fame, rivalry, street-level charisma, and raw talent into a life that's as jaw-dropping as it is tragic. From heated lyrical wars and brushes with the law to an empire built on sound clashes and stage shows, this is the untold journey of a dancehall legend. In this video, we're pulling back the curtain on Ninjaman's rise, fall, and lasting legacy. You'll discover how he made and nearly lost a fortune, and how his bold lifestyle often made him a headline for all the wrong reasons. Yet through it all, his influence still echoes through the speakers of every dancehall sound system around the world. Born Desmond Ballentine, but known to the streets as Ninjaman, he emerged in the 1980s, spitting fierce, no-holds-barred lyrics that earned him a spot among the elite. His hits Protection, Murder Dem, Permit to Bury weren't just songs, they were anthems that lit up dance floors and dominated clashes. Teaming up with legendary producers like King Jammy and hitting international stages between 1989 and 1992, Ninjaman rode the wave of fame to his peak, reportedly amassing a net worth of around $1 million through music sales, show-stopping performances, and royalty checks. But the man wasn't just about the mic. He took his talents to the big screen, with roles in cult Jamaican films like Third World Cop, Rude Boy, The Jamaican Dawn, and Gangsta's Paradise. While the movie gigs didn't make him rich, they cemented his larger-than-life image and added another layer to his fame. Yet the very fire that made him famous also threatened to burn everything down. His early 90s lyrics, often violent and gun-glorifying, sparked outrage and cut him off from mainstream platforms. As new stars like Shabba Ranks and Supercat began to rise, Ninjaman's spotlight started to dim. But his story doesn't end there, and it's far from simple. This is more than just the tale of a dancehall artist. It's the saga of a man who refused to back down, no matter the cost. Stick around, because we're diving deep into the highs, the lows, and the gritty truth behind the legend of Ninjaman. By 1993, the heat was on. Public backlash over his violent lyrics was mounting, and Ninjaman, never one to back down, did something no one expected. He pivoted, trading the clash-heavy persona for a message of redemption. He stepped into gospel reggae, rebranding himself as Brother Desmond in 1997. But even this bold transformation couldn't outrun the shadows of his past. Despite his musical reinvention and resilience, his legal troubles would become a storm that never passed. In 2009, everything changed. Ninjaman and his son were arrested in connection with the fatal shooting of Ricardo Johnson. The case dragged on for years, draining his finances with legal fees and court costs, and racking up a staggering $2 million bail. Then came the final blow, a 2017 conviction and a life sentence. It slammed the door shut on his career. No more shows, no more studio time, no more hits, just silence behind prison walls, and with that, the slow unraveling of his financial legacy. But to understand how far he fell, you have to know how high he rose. Desmond John Ballentine, better known to the world as Ninjaman or Don Gorgon, was born on January 24, 1966, in the quiet parish of St. Mary, Jamaica. But quiet wasn't in his nature. At just 12 years old, he left for Kingston, the heart of Jamaica's pulsing music scene, and never looked back. Little is known about his early home life. His parents, his siblings, his education, those details remain tucked away. What we do know is this: By age 14, he had already found his calling. Under the name Double Ugly, he began performing with the Black Culture sound system, carving out his voice in the competitive world of dancehall. And he didn't just survive, he thrived. In 1980, he joined the iconic Kilimanjaro sound system, rubbing shoulders with legends like Supercat and Early B. It was here he learned to own the stage, sharpen his wit, and command the crowd. At first, he recorded under the name Ugly Man, but soon he embraced the moniker that would define him, Ninjaman, ferocious, fearless, and unfiltered. By 1987, he landed his first major hit, Protection, a powerful collaboration with Courtney Melody that lit up dance halls across Jamaica and beyond. It wasn't just a song, it was a statement. And from that moment, Ninjaman wasn't just in the game, he was the game. From 1989 to 1992, Ninjaman wasn't just rising, he was on fire. Track after track dropped like sonic bombs. Border Clash, Murder Dem, Permit to Bury, Above the Law. Each one hit with raw intensity, fueled by gritty, streetwise lyrics and an untamed energy that made him impossible to ignore. His style was fierce pro-gun, unapologetic, and delivered with a slurred, almost drunken swagger that somehow only made his performances more magnetic. Whether it was his wild fashion, his aggressive stage presence, or his controversial lyrics, Ninjaman was both a crowd favorite and a cultural flashpoint. And if there's one thing dancehall loves, it's a clash. His rivalries with heavyweights like Supercat, Shabba Ranks, and Florgon were the stuff of legend, full-throttle lyrical battles that only added to his mythos. Ninjaman wasn't just in the arena, he was the arena. But by 1993, the tide began to turn. The Jamaican public, weary of violence and music, started to push back hard. Suddenly, promoters weren't calling. Radio stations cooled. Dancehall was evolving, and the Don Gorgon found himself on the wrong side of the shift. Behind the scenes, things got even darker. Struggling with a crack cocaine addiction and battling personal demons, Ninjaman hit rock bottom. But in classic Ninjaman fashion, he didn't stay down. By 1997, he re-emerged, this time under a new name and a new mission, Brother Desmond, a born-again Christian using gospel reggae to spread messages of hope instead of heat. The transformation shocked fans but showed a different side of the man who once ruled dancehall's roughest corners. And he didn't stop there. In 1999, he made a surprising leap to the big screen, landing a role in Third World Cop, a gritty Jamaican action film produced by Island Records' Chris Blackwell. Starring alongside Paul Campbell, the film became the highest-grossing Jamaican movie of its time. Ninjaman proved he could command more than a microphone, he had screen presence too. Over the next few years, he appeared in Rude Boy, The Jamaican Dawn 2003, and Gangsta's Paradise 2004, broadening his reach beyond music. But just as he was finding his footing in a new world, legal troubles came crashing back. From serious charges to extended court battles, his freedom and finances were repeatedly under threat. Yet even then, he fought to stay relevant. In 2014, with the help of Down Sound Records CEO Joseph Bogdanovich, Ninjaman got his passport back and launched a Caribbean tour, eyeing Europe next. A year later, he opened the Picture Frame Studio in Kingston, aiming to spark a creative revival. In 2017, he dropped what would become one of his final songs before incarceration, Money, a collaboration with the group Collapsing Scenery. It was a reminder that even as the walls closed in, Ninjaman's voice still carried weight. Through it all, addiction, reinvention, stardom, and scandal, his impact on Jamaican music never faded. He remained a complicated, chaotic, and unforgettable figure in the world of dancehall, a legend with battle scars. As for his personal life, that too has been headline-worthy. In a 2003 interview, Ninjaman casually revealed he had fathered 23 children with 22 different women, a statement as bold and outrageous as the man himself. By 2012, Ninjaman made a jaw-dropping claim he now had 29 children with 28 different women. And the story didn't end there. Unconfirmed reports later suggested that number might be as high as 33 children with 32 women. Whether fact or folklore, one thing's for sure, his reputation as a father of many became part of the legend. The staggering size of his reported family stirred up constant buzz in Jamaican media and among curious fans alike. Out of all those children, only a few have stepped into the spotlight. Among them is his son, Janiel, who shares not only his name, but much of his story, and a daughter named Samantha. The rest remain largely anonymous, shielded from the public eye, adding yet another layer of mystery to an already larger-than-life figure. But while fans speculated about his massive family tree, a much darker chapter in Ninjaman's life was unfolding, one that would ultimately redefine his legacy. In March 2009, the dancehall icon and his son Janiel were arrested in connection with the death of Ricardo Johnson, also known as Ricky Trooper. The incident reportedly erupted from a domestic dispute in Kingston's Marl Road community and ended in gunfire. What followed was nearly a decade of legal chaos, marked by delays, frustration, and endless court dates. After 3 years behind bars awaiting trial, Ninjaman was finally granted bail in 2012. But the road to justice dragged on. 17 trial dates came and went, and a total of 23 were logged, drawing harsh criticism of Jamaica's overburdened and slow-moving court system. Then on November 20th, 2017, the hammer came down. Ninjaman, his son Janiel, and a third man, Dennis Clayton, were found guilty of murder and shooting with intent. Less than a month later, on December 18th, the sentencing was official. Ninjaman received a life sentence, with the possibility of parole only after serving 25 years. He was also hit with a 20-year concurrent sentence for attempted shooting. His son and Dennis Clayton were each given life sentences, with parole eligibility after 15 years. It was a crushing verdict and not his first legal entanglement. Back in the 1990s, Ninjaman had been convicted on several charges, including illegal firearm possession in 1999. That history came back to haunt him, strengthening the prosecution's case and painting a picture of a man with a pattern of violent behavior. According to court records, the judge saw a clear line between Ninjaman's past and present, a man who had been given chances to reform, but didn't. Yet despite the weight of the charges and the devastating sentence, Ninjaman has never stopped declaring his innocence. His high-profile attorney, Queen's Counsel Valerie Nader Robertson, has vowed to fight the verdict. The appeal is officially set for June 2025, holding out a narrow but powerful thread of hope, maybe not for a full reversal, but for a second chance. Before his world turned upside down in 2009, Ninjaman was still very much a part of Kingston's pulse. Though his exact address was never made public, it's known that he was living in the heart of the city. The incident that led to his arrest happened on Mall Road, deep in the Olympic Gardens area, an inner-city neighborhood that's as rich in culture as it is troubled by crime and violence. But for Ninjaman, this place wasn't just where he lived. It was a reflection of who he was. The rawness, the struggle, the survival Kingston's streets were in his blood, and they echoed in every verse he spit. Even with the fame, the controversy, and the chaos that came with his name, he never turned his back on his community. In fact, just before his incarceration, Ninjaman made headlines for stepping in to help a struggling family. The kids were reupholstering furniture just to afford school. Moved by their story, he offered financial support. That single act of kindness sparked a wave of generosity. Locals began donating food and essentials to help the family get back on their feet. He had even bigger plans in the works. In 2017, Ninjaman announced a project called Problem Line, a community-focused radio show he hoped to launch alongside dancehall stars like Busy Signal and Josie Wales. The goal? To tackle local issues head-on and give people a voice. It never came to fruition, but the vision showed where his heart was. And even behind prison walls, that spirit hasn't faded. In 2018, from behind bars, he helped organize Jamboree, a massive charity concert held at Hyde Park Football Field in Kingston. The event featured big names in dancehall, with every dollar raised going straight to helping local communities. But Ninjaman didn't stop there. By 2023, he was thinking bigger this time, about prison reform. He reached out to government officials with a proposal: introduce vocational training programs like furniture making to give inmates real skills and reduce the chances they'd return to crime. His idea wasn't just talk, it was rooted in his own experience, his desire to turn pain into purpose. For all his flaws and failures, Ninjaman's commitment to uplifting others has remained real. Whether in the dance hall, the courtroom, or a prison cell, he's continued to make his presence felt. His influence on Jamaican music? Undeniable. His life? Messy, powerful, unforgettable. Love him or loathe him, Ninjaman's story is a cautionary tale, a complex blend of raw talent, inner demons, redemption, and the razor-thin line between stardom and self-destruction. If this deep dive into Ninjaman's life moved you, hit that like button, subscribe for more, and drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you think his legacy will outlast the controversies? Is he a hero, a cautionary tale, or both? Let's talk about it.